Well, as they say, here we go again. Greetings fellow Vita fans, this is James with PS Vita at 2 AM, coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so recently one of the games that we in the Vita community have been highly looking forward to, or if you're like me, been dreaming of nightly, came under fire. In fact, it came under so much fire that even big YouTubers and gaming news websites were talking about it. And while it seems like things are okay for the time being, I'm a bit worried that this could affect us sometime in the future. And I'll explain that as the video progresses. And as always, I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments section below regarding this whole sticky situation. Probably not the best segue into a game like this. The game in question, of course, as you guys might already know by now, is Project Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story, aka that survival horror game with all the thick ladies. I trademarked that phrase, by the way. And as some of you also may know, the game hasn't gotten a whole lot of exposure. I rarely hear anybody talking about it, at least up until this news segment broke. I mean, it's been on Steam since like last year, and yeah, nobody's really said much, other than we the people who are into niche games. Yeah! That is until recently, as some of you guys may know again, that the game got a release on the Nintendo Switch as of recent. That's where this whole thing kind of escalated, and since we are expecting this game, the following content could impact us. Yep, I'm sweating bullets too. Now, Top Hat Studios, which I believe is the publisher for the game, came out with an official statement. You see, the game came under fire for being a bit too risque, and basically people were complaining about it, wanting them to censor the game or to tone down the thickness. Seriously, what's wrong with these people? Oh, and for anyone out there who thinks I'm being biased, here's Handsome Squidward. And Top Hat Studios fired back at them saying this: official statements regarding calls demanding censorship of Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story. Our commitment to our audience and to developers is we will never infringe on creative freedom or expression. Basically, they are saying they don't want to censor the game. They had this to say, and yes, it's very lengthy, but quite important too. I won't be offended though if you pack a lunch or roll up a pillow. With the recent news of Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story coming to Nintendo Switch, we are aware of a large amount of messages and demands aimed towards the game's console platform release based on lies, claiming that it is explicitly pornographic or somehow encourages violence, or most ridiculously somehow breaks the law. Furthermore, voices have attempted to advocate making sale of the game unattainable through demanding harsh censorship aimed towards the developer's art style, with threats to review bomb the game and or harass its distributors. In addition, we have received death threats from those who feel threatened by what essentially boils down to an aesthetic decision of how pixels are arranged on screen. Oh, and what beautiful pixels they are. While disappointed at these behaviors, we are certainly not surprised. And I gotta agree with that, yeah, I'm not either. Let us be clear on this, we will not censor the game because of self-centered crowds who care solely about grandstanding. We categorically and absolutely refuse to restrict creative expressions. Creators should be allowed freedom to express themselves, partially when it's an expression of the subcultures and they have been immersed in. Is that an innuendo right there? Are you doing an innuendo, Top Hat Studios? I think they're doing an innuendo. As a cyberpunk game, Sense uses imageries and themes related to a future of hyper-commercialized, over-commodified imagery as part of cyberpunk themes and inspirations. Oh man, this is the version of Snatcher I wish we would have had back in the 90s. This is reflected in all characters' design. With that said, we expect that this is lost on those attacking the developers for being harmful and somehow inflicting violence and pain. Those who believe words or images inflict violence should perhaps stop spurting their own hateful, false reactions and also cease condoning death threats to those they disagree with. We reject any and all of the affirmations, brazen characterizations of the game and would like to reinstate that our principles against tampering with creators' expressions. We would also like to reiterate that this game is rated ESRBM 17+, or PEGI 18 if you're in Europe, that this is not an AO game, nor have any laws been broken, as some social media commentators have ridiculously claimed out of their bias. The game's rating reflects the targeted audience, and yet this fact is lost on those who have been led by a will to blindly crusade against their false perceptions. Once again, Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story, is rated ESRBM PEGI 18. The game will be released as planned and without censorship on the 7th of January, of course, for the Nintendo Switch. It can be pre-ordered, and well, I guess you get the gist of it at this point. And again, they have to say at the final sentence here is, the game will not be censored. End quote. Woohoo, that was long. Now, it seems like they're going to be standing by their guns here. So overall, though, I have many thoughts on this. Now, there are some people who think that, okay, Top Hat Studios is just going to stick with it. They're going to release the game as is on all platforms, not just the Nintendo Switch, and therefore we're safe. It's a nice, simple story, but is it true? My train of thought, though, is this. While it doesn't seem, as far as I know, like Nintendo has come out and stepped in to like stop the game from being released or whatnot, it seems like everything's all full steam ahead. We, however, the Vita community on a platform, the PlayStation platform, which it's kind of has been known lately to be censored. It's the reason why I couldn't enjoy Kandagawa Jet Girls to its absolute fullest. And as such, it does kind of worry me. What if this sort of negative publicity is still around when the Vita and I guess eventually the PS4 version of the games launch? Does that mean we're going to have a censored version on our platform? Or even worse case scenario here is that Top Hat Studios says that they're just not going to release it anymore on these platforms because of the censorship. I really am just hoping that Sony doesn't step in saying that they want the game censored. Taking into the fact that they have the Kickstarter backers for the Vita and whatnot, I would highly doubt that would happen, but it still just makes me wonder, could this affect the Vita community in the future regarding this game? Or even with other potential releases that are a bit questionable when it comes to content? Pachi on a roll? I'm looking at you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of spitballing here and getting a little bit too apprehensive on the whole subject, but it could be a reality nonetheless. I, for one, though, am really hoping that we get to experience this game the way the devs intended it. This away. However, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Are you happy that Top Hat Studios has done this? Do you think that maybe we might risk getting a censored version, or do you think everything's gonna go just fully as planned? Let me know down in the comments section. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Hero Acer, BMF, Phantom XRS, Gutter Drums, Adam Sondy, Clayton Merlarkey, Saul Ramirez, Himdall Imbert, PS Vita S, Joshua Williams, Kyle Brooks, Richard Cruz, Jared Haddo, JR, Laurie Sweeney, Kevin Enright, E-Rock, Jelly, Heston Joseph, Per Sterner, Mario Cruz, Aaron Swanson, Adam Thury, Wendy K, Larry Anderson, Rodrigo Vera, Sculpture Tugel TCG, David Ray, Jesus Hernandez, Matt Hargett, Kyonko, Burzin Mystery, Ronan Alganto, Juan M. Hermosillo, Tasha Monti, Eric DeWitt, Sakib Alam, Romp King, Cobble Trappa, Donut Valley, Azumara, Jackie, Ascorf, Makis Blob, Bushin Ryu Cat, B Mystery, Matt Fox, Zicrito, Milk Sama, Neo Arashi, Reiko Star, and Matt Fox. And special thanks to Zulin Pang for the recent PayPal donation. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much in making this channel grow. You know what we all need at this moment? Another glance and handsome Squidward.